drunk. I'm gonna get out of my body. Excuse me for the kids that watching, but when you win something like this, you deserve to celebrate. I'm gonna get champagne, throw it on everybody. Everybody go crazy. Excuse me for the wives and girlfriends. They gonna get champagne in their hair. I'm sorry, but they're just part of the celebration. Cause that's how Sack Nation do it. Cause Stone Cold said so, baby.
That reminds you of anyone, Canty? Because it reminds me of Chris Canty. I mean, it reminds me of Chris Canty circa 8 years ago.
Come on, man.
Oh, you were popping bottles.
Just because I tell the fans back home to get ready for a parade on Tuesday?
Yeah.
I was wrong for that?
No, you weren't wrong for that. Okay. You were great for that. I love it. It just reminds me of Chris Canty.
Gotcha. Chris Jones had a sneaky good game yesterday, too. Sneaky good game.
Didn't show up in a lot of statistical categories. Some huge plays.
Huge plays.
Some absolutely huge. He also got the pressure on Jimmy G's first pick.
All right, time for stories to start your morning. So the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 2020 is now set. Here are your 5 new members: Steve Atwater, Isaac Bruce, Steve Hutchinson, Edgerrin James, and Troy Polamalu. Nick, they get this one right?
I think they did. I love this class. There probably could have been 8 Hall of Famers. Some people were going to be left out. The one that makes me happiest is Edge. I thought Edgerrin James was going to maybe be forgotten to history a little bit. He was a dominant dual threat running back throughout his career. His numbers speak for themselves. I was surprised he got in, but if I had a ballot, he would have gotten my vote. So I was very happy. Obviously, all the others very deserving as well.
Yeah, to your point, Edge, probably the best 2 years start to an NFL career for a running back that we've ever seen in the National Football League. But you're right, all of those candidates were deserving to get into the Hall of Fame. Sometimes you have some lean years where you can make an argument that not 5 belong in this class, but not this year. All of those guys belong in the Hall of Fame.
And Polamalu was a no-doubter first ballot.
No doubter.
All right, moving on to Lamar Jackson. As expected, the Ravens quarterback was named MVP Saturday night. Lamar joins Tom Brady as the only unanimous selections in NFL history. A well-deserved honor after the season that he put together. Nick, did Lamar deserve to be a unanimous selection?
100%, because Russell Wilson fell off a bit at the end of the season. That was his only real competition. But I guess I thought Patrick Mahomes was unanimous last year. I'm shocked Mahomes wasn't unanimous last year, that there's only been one other unanimous selection. But Lamar 100% deserves it. He was sensational in basically every single regular season game.
Yeah, I think the number 2 was a little ways off. Russell Wilson probably had an argument to make in there before we hit the calendar month of December. But just look at what Lamar did. I mean, 43 total touchdowns, 3,600 yards passing, 1,200 yards rushing. To me, it was a no-brainer. It was a no-brainer.
The 1,200 yards rushing still seems make-believe.
All right, on to the Chiefs now. And after his 222nd career win, Andy Reid finally hoisted his first Lombardi trophy last night. Nick, does this cement Reid as a Hall of Famer?
1,000%, without question. The Fox guys said it to him after the game, and they are absolutely right that he hasn't been inducted yet, but he is now a lock. And Canty, with respect to your guy, Tom Coughlin, Pete Carroll, Mike Tomlin, and a few others, to me, this makes Andy Reid the second best coach of this millennia, of the 2000s. Belichick, obviously, miles away from everyone else, but Andy Reid, because of such great regular season success for 20 years, now the Super Bowl ring as well, to me, he's the second best coach the last 20 years.
Yeah, what is it, 21 years as a head coach? And he's got 222 wins when you include the postseason? So that just tells you he's averaging double-digit wins every single year. So there's been sustained excellence from Andy Reid as a head coach. And this was the only thing that was missing from his resume. Coming into this game, he had the most wins for a coach not to have a Super Bowl title. I'm glad he got a chance to be able to hold up the Lombardi, because nobody deserved it more than Andy Reid.
Yep.
All right, well, with the Chiefs,
it's an unreal feeling, something I've never felt before. I'm sure that none of these guys have felt before. It's but that, you know, the one positive you can take out of it is guys care about it. Guys care about each other. Guys care about this organization. You know, a lot of good came from this year. There's it's hard to look at it right now and see that good, but you know, a couple days down the line, you know, maybe look back on it a little bit.
All right, Nick, put a grade on Jimmy G's performance in the Super Bowl.
Oh, a D, and it's being generous. If in college you missed the first week of class and then you skip the final, doesn't really matter how you do in the intervening 3 months. Jimmy G started the game terribly. The first drive, they could have gotten 7 at stalls because of a failures in the passing game. The second drive, he throws a horrifying pick. The exact pick we were talking about all week long, all weeks long, about why Jimmy G is good, but there's a yeah, but with him. And then at the end of the football game, he was abysmal. After being sensational in that middle section. Final 12 minutes, he was 3 of 11, 36 yards with a passer rating of 3. 3. He after the Mahomes pick, they put the ball in his hands on 2nd and 9, up 10, chance to win the Super Bowl. Incompletion. Put the ball in his hands on the next play. It's third and 14 after a false start. Maybe he had someone open downfield. I don't know. I know he took off running like you needed 3 yards instead of needing 14 yards. He got 3 yards. Next possession, 2nd and 5. They put the ball in his hands. Batted down. 3rd and 5. Ball in his hands. Kittle open. Kittle wide open. Doesn't throw to him. Now the Chiefs have the ball. Now the Chiefs have the lead. Okay, Jimmy. 1st and 10. 49-yard line. Super Bowl in your hands. First pass, batted down. Second pass, damn near picked. I mean, just watch the sequence. The situation everyone dreams for. Down 4, chance to win the Super Bowl. Second pass, oh boy, that's almost picked. Third pass, we've got a guy. It's going to win. Oh, that's 6 yards overthrown. And 4th down, just go ahead and take the sack. And then that insult to injury when the Niners had, I don't know, a 2% chance. Okay, get the ball, kick a quick field goal, onside kick, something like that. He throws a pick to end the game. It was exactly, Canty, what you were worried about would happen. If the game is in Jimmy Garoppolo's hands, what does he do? So no, he was bad. He was great in the middle, but he was bad in the beginning, and he was unspeakably bad late.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I give him a D on his performance, and the only reason it's not an F is because his team had a double-digit lead in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, he had a 13 of 15 stretch when he was playing well.
But he had 2 opportunities, to your point, Nick. I mean, your defense gets a turnover for you, and you can't do anything with that drive. And then after the Kansas City Chiefs have their first scoring drive in the 4th quarter, your team goes 3 and out. Like, to me, if you're a championship-level quarterback, you're going to have some productivity in order to be able to close out the game. And that's the one thing that we've said about this 49ers team. Once they get the lead and they have the benefit of being able to rely on the run game and then play action, then this team was going to be able to finish the drill, and they just couldn't get it done. And Jimmy Garoppolo was good in play-action passing situations, but the fact that he couldn't get his offense to be productive in those critical moments in the 4th quarter, I think it's an indictment on him as a player.
But is this who Jimmy Garoppolo is?
Yes.
Or was this Jimmy Garoppolo, because you saw what he could do in the middle of the game, or is this Jimmy Garoppolo, maybe, again, those bright lights were really, really bright last night?
Of course, but we've seen what he can do throughout the season. He can make some great throws. And listen, the one throw that didn't count was probably his best throw of the night, the pass to Kittle. It was a great, but by the way, his coach didn't even want him to be in that position. His coach trying to run the clock out. It's only because the Chiefs called timeout he was even in that position. But we don't know if Jimmy Garoppolo can avoid the just what was that throw. And I know what happened early, but that interception early was huge. The Chiefs defense was not playing great.
You saw it on Garoppolo's face.
It was terrible. His eyes were closed, literally.
That was the chuck and duck right there. When Chris Jones hit him, he just threw the ball up, and Brashad Breeland made the play.
And could have gone 6. If Breeland has a little more spatial awareness, this could have been a pick 6 the other way. But so I understand at one point it looked like Jimmy Garoppolo was going to be the Super Bowl MVP. He was, I think, 18 of 21 at one point. He had gone 13 of 15. But then what were the final, show the 2 quarterbacks' final 12 minutes. After Mahomes was having maybe the worst game of his career and Garoppolo was having maybe the best. Okay. The guy on the right is a super-duper star legend. The guy on the left is a guy who his own coach is like, minute 40 into the first half. Don't know if I want to put the ball in his hands. That's who he is. And Niner fans, with respect, it's who we were telling you he was all week. And you're throwing all these stupid numbers at me. But when down 7, he's the best quarterback in football. The drive after he throws a pick, he's better than anyone. And God knows he had a bunch of those opportunities this year after he threw a pick. Nonsense. You know guys who have it and don't. And right now, maybe he will one day. Right now, Jimmy Garoppolo don't have that stuff.
No, he doesn't. And we said that he was that quarterback. You can win with him, but every other area of your team has to be above average to excellent. And that's what the 49ers had. And I think that's why they had a lead, because they were relying on their defense and their offense to be a complement. But I said it leading up to the big game. At some point, your quarterback is going to have to make a throw.
Yep.
And Jimmy Garoppolo could not make a throw. When he didn't have the benefit of being able to use play action to manipulate the defense,
Bingo.
he struggled as a quarterback. And we saw it when he was under duress, when he was pressured, he was 1 of 9, and he had 2 interceptions. That's the part of it that tells the story about who he is as a quarterback. We saw Mahomes under duress, and yes, he made some mistakes, but he also had some moments of greatness. And none bigger than the opportunity to have the ball down 3 and to lead your team on a scoring drive.
1st and 10 at midfield, all your timeouts, 2 minutes to go be a legend. And he had a pass batted down. He almost threw a pick. He overthrew a touchdown. He took a sack. Sorry. See, listen, man, that's how sports work. It's just maybe he shouldn't have been in that position. Some better play calling early. He had a chance to go be a legend. Instead, he let the actual legend on the field take his place.
And for 49ers fans waking up this morning, this is their guy for a while, so they're going to have to wrap their head around that. Moving on to the Kansas